Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Kratom Gals, your weekly dose of real talk, real stories, and relentless advocacy. Each week, we dig into Kratom headlines. We're going to react to videos and question the narratives being pushed, especially when they don't line up with the facts. Because sadly, that happens way too much. This isn't about hyper fear, it's about looking at what's actually being said, who's saying it, and what the evidence really shows. I'm Madeline Sklar, host of this live stream series, as well as the Kratom Stories podcast and the Kratom Real Talk community. I've been a daily active Kratom consumer for 6.5 years, actually going on 7 years pretty soon here. I use it to manage my chronic pain, and it's made such a big difference in my quality of life. And that's lived experience. And it's why I care so deeply about how Kratom is portrayed and regulated. I mean, who better to talk about it than those of us that are actual consumers? If you want like deeper conversations and real stories, be sure to catch our episodes of the Kratom Stories podcast on our YouTube channel. We're on a little bit of a short hiatus because, as y'all know, we lost the YouTube channel, Kratom Stories podcast. This is our new one, Kratom Real Talk. We've been adding some of our previous episodes, and we have a whole bunch of new episodes coming out really soon. So just subscribe to this channel. That way you won't miss them when they come out. And be sure to like what you're watching here. Hit the like button. It really helps. Now, a quick note before we begin. This live stream is for educational purposes only. We're not giving out medical advice here. We're sharing personal experiences and advocating for responsible Kratom use. All views expressed here are our own. So let's bring up the gals that are here with us today. Hello, gals, Venus, Sarah, and Twinkle. How are y'all doing today?
Hi, everyone. Good.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, I'm doing good.
It's great seeing everybody. I just love doing this each week with y'all and just hanging out, having conversations.
That's right.
As Kratom consumers.
And going over everything that went on in the past week. Lots of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot that's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
There's been hearings going on and hearings that are coming up, and a new year, there's a lot of that goes on, because for a lot of legislative bodies around, state by state around the country, a lot of them start up in January. So it's a busy time, that's for sure.
A lot.
But hello to everybody that's here with us. Thank you so much for hanging out and spending time. Uh-oh, I hear.
Uh-oh. Yes, it's me. It's my tablet. I'm sorry. There we go.
That was when the 30-second countdown timer was done.
Yeah.
Mine did it earlier, but I had the thing off. It was when I was getting the kittens out of here. Kittens were going nuts this morning. So that would have been me if it wasn't for the kittens.
Well, there is a delay.
It was you in the YouTube, but because I came into the chat, it's still, it's going to end up stopping the live for some reason, but it will let me continue to chat. So right now, it's just a little delayed, and that's why you heard your countdown timer.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, and it's going to delay between us when we're like doing this, the four of us see on screen. Everybody that's watching live with us here right now, you're seeing it a little bit delayed. That's just how live streaming is. It can be anywhere from maybe 10 seconds-ish all the way up to like 30 seconds.
And that's exactly what that was.
That's a lot of background noise.
Delay.
Sorry, that was my dogs. They just jumped in.
Oh, okay.
Okay, they're gone. Sorry, that was tippy tappy.
That's okay. It's a real, like, I don't know. It's just the way it came out. It's all good. But yeah, great to see everybody that's here with us. I love our community that comes here live every week, and y'all come waiting for us to start. Y'all stay all the way to the end, no matter how long we do this. And sometimes we go way over because there's so much to talk about. Well, let's dive in, because I actually have more than one page of stuff. Like I have a lot of stuff for us to go over. It has been a very busy week. Lots have been going on. Actually, when y'all aren't talking, just mute yourselves, because that way it'll make sure we don't get all that way we don't get all the background noise. Y'all, something special happened. Well, two things. So Today's actually, even though my mom passed away several years ago, and I was taking care of her before that happened, today was her birthday. And it's always a special day for me because her birthday is a day before my birthday, and we always celebrated together, which was always nice. But what was so cool last year on this day, now I'm getting ready to show y'all, that was the day NBC Nightly News came to my home to interview me. That ended up on national news a few months later. And so it's just so amazing that they spent hours with me. It's on my X, formerly Twitter, and it actually premiered on March 11th of last year. And here's some pictures from that day. That ironically, that's the news reporter that came to speak with me. He used to be a local Houston news reporter, so I already knew who he was. And when they told me his name, I'm like, oh, I wonder where he went. And so he was awesome. He was so prepared. He knew so much about Kratom and was ready to ask me tons. And he wasn't like just reading them off. It was conversational. And sadly, you only see a small snippet on the national news, but they spent hours with me and he asked me so many great questions. This is them in my office where I'm sitting right now. And they love dogs. So they're like, yeah, this was after they were done. Well, this was just when they were doing some B-roll footage and just, showing him watching me do my podcasts and TikToks. And so they're like, yeah, your dog can come in here and you can see she's like attached to him. She really enjoyed that. So it was a great experience. I'm bummed that they showed very little of my side of thing. They did a 2-side, pro Kratom and anti-Kratom. But what they showed on my side was incredible. They showed me, as you see here, they showed me and put it in that little news clip, me making my Kratom, which is unbelievable, me making my swamp water Kratom. And while this shot didn't make it into the news segment, they were filming, they wanted me to pull my Kratom out. And, I pulled out some of the different packaging, like you got, Etha, Taunton Bay. Well, let's not get into names. Some platforms don't like that. And then the one that did get featured, and I'm going to play the news story because some people here may not have ever seen it. They had me. This was to me, the best part was I used my cute little plate that I bought at Target a gazillion years ago, but it looks good next to the Kratom. They had me open the package and just pour it out onto the plate. And they took a lot of footage of that. So when you watch the news report, you'll see this footage of like Kratom powder being poured onto a plate. That's me doing it. But yeah, it was a great experience. I really enjoyed getting the opportunity to share my truthful story of how this plant helps me. And you never know where opportunity lies. The producer saw my podcast and reached out, and we had an amazing conversation on the phone. She was super impressed. And then she got back to me and said, we'd like to come out. We'd like to come to you. Is that okay? I'm like, yes.
That's so cool.
It was cool. It was cool. I was really excited to have an opportunity like that to share my personal experience with Kratom. But, just us doing this each week and just social media. And Sarah, you've just been going crazy with your videos. They're so good. Everybody's been loving it. Been seeing
so good.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been doing it more to help educate people, and bring more awareness towards our side, because lately they've been ramping it up with the negativity. So people can hear our side too. It's really important.
Exactly.
Very much so.
Exactly. Oh, Christopher, that's cool that your mom's birthday is the day after yours too. That is very special doing something like that. It's like we always celebrated together, which was just really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to play the news. The news story. Here's the thing. When you're being interviewed, you don't know how it's going to come out. I mean, it's all up to the editor. The editor can frame it however they want. Now, I had a great experience. They didn't let me film it. I was like, can I film this? Because a friend of mine was staying with me at the time. And I'm like, let's see if they'll let you film it. I'll give you my phone and just like film this. And he said no. But she could take some pictures, so we did a few of that. And then afterwards, I said, I'm like, that was really great. I know not much of it's going to be in the actual news story whenever it comes out. I said, but will I be able to get like a copy of it just to have? And they said no. So I'm like, but I tell you, sometimes I think they take like old footage of different things. Like if they ever did like another Kratom story, who knows?
They could use it because they have those rights to it, right?
But
they would just pull that out.
It's hours.
You have it, yeah.
It's hours of content because, like I said, they were here. Oh my gosh, I think about 3.5, maybe 4 hours. They were here a long time. But we also just, it took a while. They had to go set up all their gear, and that took a while. And we did the interview in my den, then we did the kitchen with me making Kratom and drinking it, and then we moved to my office, and so we did different areas, and then they were just so cool. We talked to them for the longest time afterwards. It was a great experience. So, but great to see you here, Liberated Outcasts. That's Cameron. We watched her video recently. She's going to be on the Kratom Stories podcast, by the way.
Cool.
I just had a great interview with her yesterday, so that'll come out soon. But yeah, exactly, Mel. It's great seeing the positive side of things on national news, and we don't see that often. So let me play this. And just a reminder, all the stuff we watch here, I'll put links to it later in the YouTube description. I know some people are watching over on X right now. Just go over to Kratom Real Talk on YouTube. And then, so later today on today's video, I'll add in the description all the links. But this is a video that's great to pass around because national news attention. They did focus a lot on the negative, but let's watch together. Has everybody here? Have y'all seen? I know the gals have. Sarah, have you seen this before? The nightly news, NBC nightly news story.
Yes, I've seen that. Yep.
So if anybody here live in the chat, if you haven't seen it yet, let me know. But let's play it. This was NBC nightly news with what was that anchor's name? He just retired, right?
Is it Peter Holt? Is that right?
No,
it just kind of popped into my mind. I don't even know who that is.
I can't think of his name, but like I didn't even know it was. Let me tell y'all real quick. So what they told me was it would be on NBC. They didn't know when. They didn't know which program. They said it would probably be on their streaming service whenever it does come out. Meaning all the major news outlets have pretty much on YouTube and on their website, like they're live streaming news 24/7 now or a big chunk of the day every day. So they said it would for sure make it to that. But then the day it was coming out on NBC Nightly News, they literally reached out to me and said, it's going to be on NBC Nightly News tonight. Oh, with Lester Holt.
Because
Lester Holt.
That's right. Because I remember seeing that.
And I was like,
yes.
NBC Nightly News? That means this is going to be like prime time national.
And he's big. He's big. I've been watching him since I was a kid.
Young. He's been around a long time.
Uh-huh.
And I think he had recently mentioned at that time that he was retiring. So I know a lot of people are taking more interest in that because he was going to be leaving. But this was just a great news story all around, and I really appreciated them wanting to have a positive part of this.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go.
Me too.
I'll never forget.
It's so important.
He's unresponsive.
Nearly 2 years ago, Trish Bissone's son, CJ Hollowak, collapsed at work and died at just 33.
I'm confident that it was Kratom that killed him.
Sold readily at smoke shops, convenience stores, and gas stations, Kratom is derived from a plant from Southeast Asia and often marketed as a supplement to boost energy, manage pain, and even possibly help kick addictions. It can be bought in liquid, tablet, or powder form. Small doses, the DEA says, provide a stimulant effect. High doses, a sedative effect. And it's big business, forecast to be a nearly $16 billion industry by 2032. Basone says CJ was taking a concentrated liquid form for pain after breaking his arm in 2021.
Did he say it was helping, or what were your thoughts?
He did say it was helping. He wrote in that text, it's helping.
An autopsy found CJ died from cardiac arrest due to mixed drug intoxication, including kratom. The other
So just a reminder, poly drug use, which is like usually 90% of anything that's kratom and death. So just want to, and I have seen online publicly, there is like a tox screening. It was a lot of stuff, just FYI.
Substances in his system, Basone says, were doctor-prescribed medications he'd been taking for years.
We found, I would say, hundreds of empty bottles of kratom.
She's now suing the maker of the kratom her son took and pushing for a bill that would prohibit the sale of kratom in New Jersey, like in these 6 states and Washington, D.C.
Take it off the shelves. It's as simple as that.
But down in Houston, Madeline Scalar credits kratom with saving her life. She turned to kratom to deal with chronic back pain after stopping prescription opioids.
I have degenerative disc disease in both my neck and back. Taking high-powered opioids, my pain level on a good day would be a 6. But when I was using kratom and first got started with it, my pain level seriously goes to 0.
I wouldn't want my kid going into a gas station, picking up a concentrated extract and chugging the whole thing.
Professor Chris McCurdy of the College of Pharmacy at the University of Florida has studied kratom for years. He says in low doses, it's about as addictive as coffee, but there isn't enough research on these new higher dose products. CDC data from 2023 shows 37 states and Washington, D.C. had 1,151 overdose deaths in which kratom was detected. But kratom's contribution to these deaths is unclear. The FDA doesn't regulate it, but warns the public against the use of kratom for medical treatment.
The products are on the market because they are treated at this time as a food or a dietary ingredient.
The American Kratom Association accuses the FDA of a relentless campaign to keep kratom off the market rather than ensuring consumer safety. The FDA did not respond to our request for comment.
Her having her share her experience with kratom. I met her on TikTok.
Scalar, who hosts a podcast about kratom, says she's far from the only success story, but even she agrees more laws are needed. For Trish Basone,
My son died and he shouldn't have died.
it's just not worth the risk. Stephen Roman, NBC News, Freehold, New Jersey.
There you go.
That was so good. And you were the perfect person to be able to do that. And it was just perfect to have them follow you around and get the information out there.
Well, I'm grateful I got the opportunity and was able to share it, and that they wanted a story, because we hear, so as we watch here week after week, it's so much negative misinformation that the media puts out. So how refreshing that they were willing to show a positive side, as all of them should, and all the legislators should, you know?
Yeah. And it just shows how much it's worth putting your stories underneath these articles, because I got that call from that journalist in North Carolina that time, and he did that interview. And like you said, it was only a short piece, but it was just so exciting to be able to get my story out there. And all I did was comment underneath one of his articles.
Stuff like that works. I mean, Venus, you're so good at that, always putting your story out, but then commenting on, like as you put in the comments here a few minutes ago, you will sit here and go comment on articles and news stories on YouTube, wherever you can find them, and comment and share your story, which puts you on their radar.
Which
Very
is incredible.
Yeah. And then I run away and go to the next one.
That's okay.
So if anybody
But
comes
you're
back being
getting
mean,
to
I
them
don't see it.
all. You're getting to them. And that's so important.
Exactly.
I
You
just
know,
like
you're
to
doing-
fly around and sprinkle the information and hope the right people find it.
But you know you're doing great when it's attracting the negative attention, because they don't want that. They don't want to see that, and we're not going to be silenced.
No, no. And I don't go back and comment to the negative, because we're not going to change their minds. You know what I mean? So I'll just go on to the next person that wants to learn about it and wants help.
Exactly. So next up is Ohio. There's been a lot of stuff going on in Ohio. Has everybody been hearing about how not only did the governor and the pharmacy board ban 7-OH, I think it was last month, back in December, now the Board of Health is scheduling natural kratom.
It makes me mad because they literally put that notice out, and then they put a correction. The government, official government, put that correction out saying that they weren't talking about plain leaf kratom. And now they're going back and forth, back and forth. They're obviously not listening to their constituents.
That was last month, but now they're clearly going after natural kratom. So we're going to watch some videos.
One of the things they're saying is because they can't identify the difference between the two, so just ban it all, basically.
Sadly, yeah.
Yeah.
So Liberated Outcast, which is Cameron, says I was publicly attacked today because, she's been like getting more vocal, advocating for kratom. It was rough. Thanks for the reminder, Madeline. I must be speaking something powerful. Exactly. The best thing to do is ignore the haters. Don't let them get to you. But it does show you are doing something powerful when they're going to come after you.
Yeah.
Because if you weren't, they'd have nothing to do. Yeah, there'd be nothing.
Correct.
So
that is true.
We got to stay on top of things. But yeah, there's definitely issues going on in Ohio right now, and everybody needs to help advocate no matter where you live in the country. But if you're in Ohio, you got to step up, or you're gonna it's basically becoming banned. So I'm gonna play several videos for y'all on this. First up is a great video advocating with what's happening in Ohio from Happy Hippo. So let me.
Urgent update for everyone who lives in Ohio and relies on natural kratom. Listen, the Board of Pharmacy has officially moved to classify kratom as a controlled one substance. So before we panic, listen, this is not a done deal yet, right? So we're going to break this down. So the board wants to ban metrogenine specifically, and that's the primary alkaloid in the plant. The governor there has already signed an executive order banning synthetic kratom, but now our natural plant is in the crosshairs. This rule will not finalize for at least a few months. It still has to pass through the Common Sense Initiative and the Legislative Review Committee. So this means we have a window of time to push back and educate our lawmakers. So the American Kratom Association is already on the ground fighting this. There will be opportunities for public testimony and to share how natural kratom has impacted your life. And listen, we cannot let kratom be treated like some dangerous street drug, okay? So please, stay tuned for updates on when and where to testify. And your voice is the only thing that can help stop this ban. So let's keep kratom legal in Ohio.
Love that video. I mean, it's important for us to all be talking about this and making people aware. Not everybody's aware of this. And this is something anybody here can do is make a video talking about it. And if you're not comfortable, then post something about it. If you want to get comfortable doing video, I am going to do a video challenge. We've already been talking about it on my regular Madeline Sklar. If you're not following me on my at Madeline Sklar, I've been posting it on all of my social media, X, Facebook, where else? YouTube, all the other places. Just look up my name. TikTok, my personal one, separate from the Kratom one. But anyway, I've been doing since January 1st on my business stuff a self-imposed 30-day content challenge where I'm putting out a piece of content every day on all my social media, my business social media, and I realized I really should do this as video every day because that would be more of a challenge for me. Because usually if I make videos, it's more like the kratom stuff like this or my business stuff or my other stuff. But why not just make talking about whatever? And like a lot of times when I'm out walking my dog, I'm like, well, let me just start talking into the camera and let's see what comes out of me. And so I've been asking people in that process and sharing these videos because I know in the kratom community, a lot of y'all are not comfortable doing video. Y'all tell me you want to do it. You're just not there yet. So we've been having some discussions in my comments this week about that. And I've asked, what about a 5-day video challenge that we all do as a group together? And this is just for anybody, not just our Kratom community. But a lot of y'all in the Kratom community are like, yes, I'm definitely interested. See, and Mel commented on one of my videos. She was like, yes, I'll. And I know you did too, Sarah. And
yeah, that's perfect.
Me too.
Yeah, especially getting used to it being a daily routine too. By you know what I mean, it will get you into a routine, which is a good thing.
Exactly.
And doing it as a group activity is always, it's easier for me. Yeah.
It's easier when you're doing it with other people because it's a couple of things. You don't feel alone. There's that accountability because if you like, I'm going to do this and everybody's doing it, then you're going to feel more compelled to do it. But we also learn from each other and help each other. And so this is just a tip of the iceberg of the program I used to teach back in 2018 before life changed. I ended up moving in to take care of my mom in her last years. And so I really enjoyed doing that program and I see there's still a need for it. So you know, we're still picking up a lot of background noise. I'm not sure where that's coming from.
I know it's definitely been a lot of help for me and helping me pull me out of my shell. So I would recommend everybody to sign up for that because it really does help.
Yeah, I'll definitely be sharing more information on like, if anybody wants to do my little 5-day video challenge. I don't really have like a sign up thing, but I am keeping track of who's shown interest and said they want to do it. So if anybody's interested, just reach out to me and say, I'd like to do your 5-day video challenge whenever you do it. Just let me know and I'll be sure to add you to my little list. I'm keeping track of who said they're interested. So let me play another video in Ohio. So now this is my video I put out this week with my thoughts on this. And hopefully this will give y'all ideas to make videos like this. It doesn't take long. If you're a Kratom consumer, you're going to want to listen up because what just happened in Ohio affects all of us. The Ohio Board of Pharmacy voted this week to move forward with scheduling natural Kratom as a Schedule I substance. They already used emergency rules to ban synthetic products. That part was done. Now they're going after natural Kratom leaf itself. This wasn't based on new science, and it wasn't the result of some long public debate. The board approved this without asking a single question during the review. If this goes through, everyday consumers could be criminalized overnight. Access to regulated lab-tested products disappears, and people get pushed towards unregulated alternatives. We've already seen how this plays out, and it doesn't end well. Federal officials have already said natural Kratom is not the target. But the concern has been synthetic products, and Ohio even recognized that distinction before they chose to ignore it. Now, this is not final yet. There will be a rulemaking process and public comment periods coming up, but most people don't hear about those until they're too late. So please go to protectkratom.org/join to stay informed. Watch this closely because other states are. There you go. So anybody can make a video like that. Just, talk about whatever, but, let people know, hey, we got to do something about Ohio. Here's my experience with Kratom. Let's rally together. And all I did was just grab the link to the AKAs, that protectkratom.org is where, people can sign up to get more involved. And so I just put their link up. And I know that the GKC is looking for people to get involved as well.
Yep, they are. And it's just really important. You can even repost those videos too if you're not comfortable with making one. And that way it can show people that follow you what's going on too.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. But I know with Ohio, there's been, I know it's on, if you go to my X, I reposted the one from GKC they just put up, I think it was yesterday, or the day before, and they have links to like where you can go and fill out a comment and how you can reach out to them if you want to get involved and help with Ohio. So just always go to my X for stuff like that because I always have all that advocacy information there. Oh yeah, thank you, Mel. AKA is doing a webinar tonight. So if you're on their email list, you would have gotten the Zoom link. But if you're not on the email list, go to protectkratom.org. That's how you can sign up to be on their list. and they're, you know, keeping us all updated on things.
Hopefully they YouTube it, because I'll watch it via the YouTube.
Yeah, they almost always put it out to
Yeah.
their YouTube. You don't have to be. The Zoom is if you want to be able to ask questions, because Mac is good about
Right.
doing Q&A at the end. If you want to ask, because they're not going to take Q&A from the YouTube. They're just
Correct. Right.
posting it to YouTube Live. So, but you can't always watch it on YouTube. So thanks for sharing. Okay, I got one more video in Ohio, and this is from my friend Abram at Pure Infinity Botanicals. So we've been watching a lot because he's great at putting out informational kratom videos and advocacy videos. And we're still getting a lot, Sarah, we're still getting a lot of background on yours. It's like picking up everything around you. It's weird. Whatever kind of mic you're using. Like it's just constant background sounds the whole time you're talking. You might be better using just speakerphone.
Yeah. Just switch that.
Because you're doing Bluetooth, right? Because Bluetooth mics don't sound very good. It sounds like it's very thin. It's that you'll hear on the replay. So you're muted right now, though. Oh, but did you take it? Did you take? I just want to hear how it sounds without that. Did you try turning it off? Or you probably still have it on. But yeah, I think it would actually be better if you just do it directly with your phone.
I shut it off. Is that better?
It's a little bit better.
Okay.
I mean, there's still some background, but your audio sounds a little bit better.
Okay, that's good. Sorry.
Still doing a lot of background. I'm not sure why, but okay. It's all good. Let me see if I can adjust anything. Okay, I think I was able to fix the background not be as bad.
Okay.
I don't know. It kind of comes and goes, but you sound a little bit better with doing it like that. But I was still just mute. I was still just mute when you're not talking because it's still picking up some stuff. All right, I got this great video from Abram. He's also the guy that we watched his video series a while back where he went on a self-imposed 10-day kratom break and he documented it every day, and it was amazing. I mean, that's amazing for somebody to not only do that and showcase that on their social media, but he's also on the industry side. Mm-hmm. And so I thought that was really awesome of him. He's very transparent. I love that. So he's fired up about Ohio. So get ready to get yourself fired up. This is a 4-minute video, but he's going to walk you through how easy it is to advocate and help with Ohio. So watch this. You're going to like it.
What's up, guys? I'm pissed off. I've never started a video off like this before. Ohio just banned kratom. Originally, they attempted to ban 7-hydroxy, but I would estimate that there's close to 1 million users of regular kratom products in the state of Ohio today. They made an amendment to that emergency ruling protecting raw leaf kratom, but the Ohio Board of Pharmacy just officially scheduled metrogenine as a Schedule 1. Metrogenine is kratom. Kratom is metrogenine. Metrogenine is the most commonly found alkaloid in the plant kratom. So by banning that alkaloid, they just banned kratom and made it a illegal product for you to possess or consume in your state. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to fight this bill and to get it reversed. We've been successful before and we can do it again. And where were we successful? In North Carolina. Everybody on my team here in North Carolina, all of our customers in North Carolina, we actually called the state representatives across the state in the different counties, and we left messages with the aides, and it raised enough of a red flag for them to shoot down the amendment that was within a bill to ban kratom. So if we've done it in North Carolina, we can do it here. And we're going to start off by calling the Ohio Board of Pharmacy. The phone number, 614-466-4143, and it's right here in the video. So we're going to call, and I'm going to show you how it's done.
Thank you for calling the State of Ohio Board of Pharmacy.
There's 2 extensions you need to be aware of. Extension 0 for the operator and extension 3 for policy and communications. You can skip the whole prompt. So we're going to hit 0.
You've reached the operator at the Ohio Board of Pharmacy.
Hey, what's going on? I think we just spoke on the phone here. Previously, when we spoke on the phone, you had transferred me over to the policy and communications department. And whenever you did, it didn't ring. So I don't think I left a voicemail. I was wondering if you could transfer me over there.
Oh, okay. Hi, Cameron. 1 moment.
Okay. Cameron. That's the name of the person. Cameron, who works in the department. Guys, key takeaway here is model my way of communicating. I'm going to be respectful. I'm not going to be outrageous or egregious in any way that I communicate with them. I'm going to be calm, cool, and collected.
Please leave a message after the tone. When you have finished, please hang up or press the pound key for more options.
Hey, I believe I called earlier, and I don't know if my voicemail went through, so I apologize for doing this a second time around, but my name's Abram, and I'm calling because of this new rule that schedules metrogenine, aka Kratom mitragina speciosa, as a Schedule 1. I just wanted you to know this is going to impact me and many other people in Ohio very negatively. We're daily users. We use extracts, powders, teas, etc. It has been a product that has added value to our lives, and this rule is going to make me a criminal, and honestly, it's going to hurt me. And it's not just going to hurt me. I've got friends that are firefighters, and I've got friends that are doctors that use these products. Please, please, please reconsider. But more importantly, I would love to talk to you. If you could, give me a call back. My number is... I would really appreciate it if you gave me a call back. Please, let's amend this rule. This is irrational, and it's going to hurt a lot of people. I know it may not be directly your responsibility, but I don't know who else to call. Thank you so much for listening.
To accept and set message options, press 1. To replay, press to send now, press the pound key. To mark as high, message sent. Goodbye.
All right. Takeaway from that is that I was respectful, I was calm, and I emphasized that this is going to hurt a lot of people. I didn't call names. I didn't cause a fuss. You need to make sure to hit the pound key when you do this. And honestly, guys, you can skip the operator by hitting extension 3, but I want you to hit the operator. And I want the operator to get too many calls about this so that they know they've caused a fuss. We can shoot this down if we come together and we make some noise, and it doesn't take that much noise. You guys watching this video right now need to pick up the phone and let these people know that they're impacting you negatively with a crappy rule that's going to hurt a lot of families in the state of Ohio. As always, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Share this video everywhere you can. I don't care about this video going viral. I care about helping keep Kratom safe and legal in every state that we can and stopping this type of pendulum swing wherever we can. Thanks for watching, guys.
That's great. I hope that's getting everybody inspired to go take action.
Yeah.
I mean, he just walked us through what to do.
Everything to do. And if you want something else to say, you can go to GPT chat and put what you want to say in there. And if it doesn't come out right out of your mouth, it'll bring it back to you so that it does make sense again. So that's what I like to do. But yeah, definitely I called yesterday and sent the emails and then sent in the letters to the journalists, the list that we have on school, all the journalists, to let them know too. So hopefully we'll get somewhere.
Yeah, thanks for sharing all that in our school community, Kratom Real Talk. For anybody that's not over there, go to kratomrealtalk.com. We have a private community over on the school platform, and Venus does a great job of posting like all the advocacy stuff. And yeah, that one post you did the other day with emails to all those different media outlets is great. Because yeah, ChatGPT is amazing. You just kind of give it your idea of what you want to talk about, and it'll help formulate it and give you like a little transcript. Make it easy.
Exactly. It's helped me out so much with everything, but especially with advocating.
Yeah. All right. We got a lot of other news stories. There's a lot of news stories this week. There was an interesting one out of Utah, and there's two different ones from the same news station I'm going to play that we need to watch. So let's start with this one.
New at 10, Kratom, a substance sold legally across Utah, is showing up more often in overdose deaths.
Yeah, state lawmakers get ready to debate how or if it should be regulated. 2 News Investigates Ariel Harrison looks at what the state medical examiner is seeing and why tracking these deaths isn't as straightforward as it might sound.
We did not see any Kratom-related deaths prior to 2014.
Over the past decade, state forensic epidemiologist Megan Brockmeyer says Utah has recorded just under 200 Kratom-involved deaths, and the number is rising.
Over a 5-year period, deaths have increased by over 40%.
Brockmeyer says most of these deaths are accidental and rarely involve Kratom alone. Sorting out exactly what contributed to deaths is up to the state medical examiner.
If someone dies of using a Kratom substance, can it get missed?
It could get missed in that
So sometimes we can't always collect the appropriate specimen for that testing. That happens in a minority of cases.
Dr. Deidre Amaro is Utah's chief ME. In her office, toxicology testing is critical, but has limits.
There is no single panel that tests for every drug under the sun.
In terms of kratom-related deaths, Amaro says there is no direct test for kratom itself.
Okay, there's a lot of false information here. There's no test for kratom itself? Where's that coming from?
That one. I thought
it can be tested for
the kratom, right? Because
it can be tested.
For years, there are people, chronic pain colleagues and chronic pain peers that have actually been tested.
Yes, and lost pain.
Yes.
Some have lost it because of that.
For years. There was no test last I knew. There was no test yet for 7.0 specifically.
Right.
But there is for kratom, and that's not like right now. That's been for years.
The mitragynine is
right.
like
unless that was a lie too.
If they're looking specifically for it, it can't. But she was talking about how we can't test.
It doesn't come in the common drug panel, but it can be tested
but
for.
It's not on the common one. But there is a panel that will test it. The thing is, when she said we can't test for everything, that's very worrisome. So medical examiners can't test for everything. That's messed up. So what if the person ingested other drugs that they're not testing, but they see nitrogen on there and go, well, let's blame this. I mean,
you're going to blame something
it's
that
a blame
wasn't
game.
The cause because you didn't check for the other drugs that were in their system.
It's ridiculous.
Exactly.
It is.
And I think that's what's happening.
Yeah. You see that with a lot of the stories that say that there is kratom, but all these other things that they don't name, but they name kratom. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
And Mel says probation officers around here can test for it now. It's interesting. But so this is exactly why we watch these news stories, because false information is going out to the public. In Utah, kratom is under attack in Utah. I mean, that's the first state in the country that adopted a KCPA years ago, and it's under attack now. They want to ban it. And putting out information like this that's false, where are they getting this from? That there's no test for mitragynine, that's false. That, well, we can't test for everything. Well, that's just messed up. That's a messed up system. So I could ingest something that kills me, and a medical examiner might not be able to. They can't test everything. So what if they? But she had mitragynine in her system. We're going to blame that.
Yep. And it is. It's going to be in my system
That's
no matter what. And so, will that be my cause of death when that time comes? I know darn well it's not going to be. I know that that my health itself would be the cause, but anything being in our system, and I'm not taking pharmaceuticals or illicits.
Yeah.
It's going to be kratom. That's the only one that's going to,
Right. Exactly. So, it, like Mel says, it's all this misinformation. Well, the story's not over. I just had to stop because she named something that was completely false, that they can't test it, completely false. But then to make this blanket statement, well, we can't test for everything. And she's the head of the medical examiners around in that whole state. That's scary.
Instead, she says investigators look for metabolites or chemical markers left behind after the body processes the substance. That gap in some testing is something one family learned in the hardest way.
And if you don't know to have this tested for, it won't show up. So it's a ghost.
Eva Nealman lost her son Connor after she says he took this product containing 7-hydroxymitragynine while living in Texas.
That is the only chemical in my son's blood. No over-the-counter medication, no alcohol, no illicit drugs, nothing.
While investigators in Texas handled Connor's case, Dr. Amaro says Utah's death investigation testing now includes the breakdown products of kratom.
The ones we most routinely order do include mitragynine, which is a major metabolite breakdown.
Wait a minute, didn't you just say you can't test for mitragynine at the beginning?
So that's
she said you can't test for it. Now she's saying this roundabout way, well, we can test. We're testing the metabolites.
If we wanted to, maybe we could.
It's an alkaloid, not a metabolite. Where's she getting this information from?
I don't know.
This just makes no sense.
Product of Kratom. And recently also include the 7-hydroxymetragenine metabolite.
Still,
She's saying two things that are the same thing. She's talking about the metabolite, but then she says, and 7-OH. That's a metabolite.
Right. She doesn't even.
Almost as if there's yet another something going on there, so she doesn't quite
She doesn't know what
she's
she's talking about.
No, she really doesn't know what she's talking about.
And you know, super Kratom advocate Lori Romney lives in Utah. She was there for the signing of that KCPA in her state. I hope she's on this, man, because if the medical examiner for the whole state said that, like the head one of the state, it's like I'd be like getting on the phone with her and say, I live here, I'm a big advocate, and let me educate you on this, because what you're saying makes no sense.
Yeah, and I've lost a lot of faith in medical examiners just in general after hearing about the things they say. Yeah, it's just, I have no faith in them either.
Well, and look at the headline of this news story. I mean, Kratom and overdose deaths.
Yeah.
All right, there's still just a little bit left, and then we're going to do the follow-up story that comes after this.
Rose says knowing what to test for matters.
We have to select our panels based on our scene investigation, based on the information available to us at the time of the death investigation.
The medical examiner in Texas knew to request a 7-hydroxymetragenine test. I know he did not take this product.
There's not a test for
expecting
that.
It would kill him.
So see,
there's not a test for 7-hydroxymetragenine.
That's what my understanding has been as of right now, is there isn't. Maybe there is, but I wish that we could just get one source of true information. It doesn't bother me if there's a test for it or the MIT. You know, that would keep people at least tested for when they're doing these panels. But I don't know. So is that true? There's just so much misinformation. Yeah. It makes me very hesitant to trust anything at all.
Exactly. Somebody needs to ask Mac that on the webinar tomorrow night, because that's actually a good question.
Because
is there a test for it yet?
I thought that the 7 metabolizes so quickly that they just wasn't able to do it yet. Maybe that's not true.
That's what I thought too.
Maybe it has moved along, and I just am not informed. I just don't know yet. But just a couple months ago, we were being told there was no test for it yet. So I don't know. I don't know.
Plus they've said that Mac and all them have said the 7-OH metabolizes so quickly in the body that it's not really enough to test, or if any available to test after death. So, but that lady is just misinformed, and she's the state's medical examiner. That's very worrisome. Very, very worrisome.
It really is.
Hopefully, she can get educated on this. Mike was saying, how many years away are we from having a final scientific report on Kratom? I would like to know when the FDA is going to officially release their single dose study that they did years ago. But I have a video coming up later that I created of, there was a Kratom study on humans, and the report just came out. And I made a video about it. I guess I could play it now. Well, I want to do the follow-up. There's a follow-up on the Utah thing, because they have like a shorter follow-up. But I did make a video talking about, there is a report. I have a link to it here on my YouTube. If you go to the Linktree link in my bio, I have 2 different studies linked in there. And one of them is this. There's one on the seizures. Kratom does not cause seizures. The science shows it doesn't cause seizures. So there's that one, and I've made a video on that. But I have this new video, and it's a new report, and it's very interesting. But let me play this follow-up news story about this, because again, the headline: gaps found in reporting Kratom deaths nationwide. So these Utah people have more that now they want to talk about it on a national level. I mean, it's a joke. Watch this.
So, Ariel, your investigation last night looked into how deaths relating to Kratom are investigated here and the trends we're seeing. But what goes into tracking Kratom-related deaths nationwide?
Well, I spoke with the state medical examiner and an epidemiologist on her team about this. They said even as states see more deaths, there is a structural gap in how those deaths are recorded nationwide, at least right now.
Well, what kind of gap is that?
Medical examiners say Kratom doesn't have what's called its own ICD ICD-10 code, the classification system used on death certificates across the country.
Does that speak to how new this is, how new the research is on it as well, and tracking the data, that this code doesn't even exist yet?
I think so. But also it's like I said, it's a significant undertaking to update to the next iteration. And so it does go, there's several years that go before the next iteration happens.
So until there is an ICD-10 code, the team tells me states have to manually search records, making national trends harder to identify, even as lawmakers debate regulation, which will, of course, be tracking in the upcoming legislative session that takes off in January.
Yeah, it seems so new, but it's not new to the people affected by it for sure. So it's going to take a minute to figure it all out. Thanks so much.
There you go. So they're saying some crazy stuff there.
Yeah.
I'm like almost speechless.
I'm shocked. I'm really shocked. Yeah.
What do we say to that? My God.
Yeah.
Right. They obviously are very misinformed, and they really need to be educated on Kratom, or at least educate themselves, on it more. Wow.
And you'd think with all the information out there, Kratom has a lot of sources and citations and information for Kratom itself. It's not like there's only been one study, or there's no peer reviews, or there's no this. It has a good amount, and even in other avenues of health. During COVID, maybe I'm not supposed to say this, there was a potentially it could reduce the symptoms of COVID at that time. The articles were still out there from the NCBI, or legitimate sources where we get our information from. In other areas of health, cancers, and maybe although that isn't absolute, but they're studying it, and good things are coming from those studies.
They've been
Yes,
the FDA right now is doing a study on Kratom and addiction. They've been doing studies. They're currently doing studies. Let me play
animal care, even the animal care.
But they've done humans.
Animal care, yes. Yeah.
And this video I'm going to play is a short video I just put out this week on my TikTok and YouTube, and it's from a human study, and the results just came out. So watch this. It's interesting. Let's talk about real Kratom science, not the headlines, not clickbait, actual human research. This just came out on PubMed, and it matters. It was a controlled clinical study on Kratom done in healthy adults, looking at safety, tolerability, and how people responded to it. This is the kind of research advocates have been asking for. This wasn't a survey. It wasn't animal data. It was a double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled study. 116 healthy volunteers took part. Single doses and repeated daily doses of dried Kratom leaf powder was used. Nearly 7 weeks of monitoring. That design matters because it strips out speculation. You can compare Kratom directly against placebo and watch what happens in the body. Here's what they found, and I want to be very clear and very precise. There were no deaths, no serious adverse events. Side effects did happen, especially at higher doses, but they were mostly mild. Things like nausea, dizziness, headaches, and feeling warm. Overall, the researchers concluded that the Kratom used in the study was safe and generally well tolerated in healthy adults. And this is important. In this controlled setting, researchers did not see evidence of significant abuse, potential, or withdrawal. But let's not overstate this. This study does not say Kratom is risk-free. It does not tell us what happens over many years, and does not represent every product on the market. But what it does show is that when Kratom is studied seriously in humans, the results are far more nuanced than the clickbait headlines and negative media narratives we usually see. This is exactly why science has to lead policy, not anecdotes cherry-picked to push bans, not assumptions, actual data. If this kind of science breakdown matters to you, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to help support this work, donations help make it possible for me to keep digging into the research and sharing it clearly without hype or fear. This is part of my science series. We're going to keep breaking down the research one study at a time. So there you go. I was proud of that video.
Good.
I
Yes.
love that. You
And
should be
so good.
proud of it. It was
and
good.
you very proud. And you're absolutely right. It's not risk free. Nothing is risk free. I
Exactly.
mean, there's just nothing out there that's
Exactly.
risk free. All our bodies are
Exactly.
different. Our physiology is different. Our health issues are different. And even if we have the identical same conditions, it's still different. It can never be identical, you know, and that goes by our environment, the stuff in the air in each place we live in, and just all of it.
Exactly.
Genetics. Yep.
Yes.
But that was a human study that, and this report just came out. And again, I have it linked over in my link tree, which is on all my social media. I have like a link tree link. You can go there and see the study and go read through it. Go to ChatGPT and have it explain it to you if you don't, because, you know, it's usually written with all that medical terminology.
Yeah, PubMed is great. I always refer people to look at the studies. They have great information. It's great.
Well, and I just got my hands on another thing that has all that information, but I think it's the actual full data where there's a lot more stuff. I think PubMed is just kind of like the condense of, you know, kind of like generalizing everything, but I saw something that's much more robust that I'll be sure to link. But yeah, so Sarah, we're already at the top of the hour. We're going to switch off. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Sarah.
It was great talking to you, ladies.
Thank you. It's good seeing you.
Talking to you too. Bye.
Bye. Hey, Becca. Good to see you.
Good to
Hey,
see you.
good to see you, gals. How are you?
We're good. We're watching some interesting videos today.
Yeah, I caught that. Yeah, definitely excited about the new study that just came out and the video you published.
Yeah. So y'all be sure to share that. It's on my YouTube channel. And look, since I got, here's what's interesting. I don't know if everybody knows this yet. So I got in trouble with you on the new channel. I got in trouble with them this week already. I wish I could just play it for y'all. All I did, I can't believe they took this down and gave me a warning, and they have suppressed all the videos I put up since. They've totally suppressed them. They got very few views. So y'all are on my YouTube channel after this. Be sure to go see my shorts and go look at my shorts from this week. And that was one of them I just played. I got some others. A YouTube short I put up is a video I actually made a couple of years ago. And it's been on my TikTok multiple times, and it was on my previous YouTube, no problem. They took it down when I uploaded it this week. All it is very short, and all it is me saying, to get the facts and information about Kratom, go to kratomanswers.org. Y'all know this is just a static website. It's just information that the AK put out. That's all it is. That's all it is. And it's just me sitting here saying it. I'm not showing anything. There's no mention of brands, nothing. They took it down and said I violated community guidelines with regulated goods. I'm like, okay, it's one thing if I'm showing brands, selling brands, talking about brands. That you for sure can't do. And so I appealed it. I'm thinking, okay, their AI caught something. I don't know what, because it was a very benign video. There was nothing bad about it.
I would think you would be able to market as like educational or something. They usually have that.
So I figured the appeal would fix because first of all, the AI, and this is not people reporting. I know a lot of times y'all all say, or not y'all, but like people like to say, people are reporting. No. Just remember, I've been in the industry a long time. I've been in digital marketing for 30 years. 30 years this week, by the way. And I've been teaching social media for over 20 years. I know sometimes, yes, they can mass report and things like, no, I uploaded this video and it was flagged within minutes. That was their AI flagging something it didn't like. I don't understand what, because I didn't say anything. It's seriously so not a big deal. I mentioned a website with facts and science about Kratom. So I thought, okay, let's do the appeal. Certainly when the person goes and look at it, I think they did AI again, because they came back very quickly and said, no, you didn't win your appeal, and you don't get to explain yourself, and you don't get to do anything else. So they've restricted my videos ever since then, the rest of the week. And you have to do like a little training scenario thing to make sure you understand what you can and can't do. And I've had to do it before with the other account. So I did all that. So hopefully, but by y'all going and watching and liking and commenting on those short videos, it will help the algorithm. But right now, they're purposefully keeping people from seeing it because people have been seeing all the videos I've been posting on YouTube on this new account, even though I don't have a lot of subscribers. So it really matters by like. So, I mean, look, the easiest thing everyone can do here to support all of this work is subscribe to this YouTube channel, Kratom Real Talk. And every time I put out a lot of short YouTube shorts, it's just the super short videos because a lot of them I do over in TikTok and then I just posted here as well because not everybody watches both channels. And I've been posting them pretty much every day. So there's always something. By liking it, it helps the algorithm. And if you even take a moment to comment, even just put a few emojis in, it helps because then they know people like it and they'll let other people see it. So little things like that really help. So but I can't believe they denied my appeal. I'm like, what did I do? I'm just sharing an informational website. And
it's so frustrating.
Everybody knows about that website. So I periodically take that older video and repost it because people just don't know. So hopefully I'm not getting in trouble for it, but kratomanswers.org. Go there if you haven't been there before. Great information.
Yeah, really good information.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to Venus. She must have had some internet issues. So I'm sure she'll be back. So Becca, always great having you here with us. So for hour 2 today, I love this. We're getting like some of our industry, longtime consumer advocates / industry gals joining us. So Sarah for the first half and Becca for the second half. Did you see Becca earlier when I played my NBC News story that came out last year?
No, I missed that, but I do remember the story. Like it was really awesome.
Well, the reason why I'm mentioning this is that, okay, so earlier I started off with this because it came out in March of last year. Today was the day they came on January 10th. That's when they came to my home to interview me and do all this. They literally spent the entire afternoon in my home. It was an amazing experience. So I was just like telling everybody, hey, 1 year ago today, I had this happen that then, so let me pull, because I want to mention wanted you to see this because one of the images I showed you'll like. So that's my tweet that went up earlier that a year ago today that came to my home. And this is what I said. They listened, learned, and took the time to understand why this plant matters. They really did. First of all, they were well prepared. They understood kratom. They knew all about it. But then
that's wonderful.
Here's the tweet on the day it came out on March 11th last year. But it's just, I have this photo here. I don't know if you've seen it, Becca. So this didn't make it into the news segment, this specific part, but they had me pull out a bunch of kratom packages from my cupboard, and Taunton Bay is in there. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, our yellow Vietnam.
Yeah, so I pulled out what they end up showing on screen was of me making Christopher's and then pouring the bag of Christopher's onto that plate there. But this part didn't make it on the actual, look, the news segment was so short, but she spent, the filmmaker spent a lot of time in my kitchen filming, and she had her thing set up and she was like doing all these, she had angles, like all these different angles. And then she just kind of go across, and I was just standing right there watching her. That's me taking a picture because I'm just standing there. And it was so much fun watching her do this. But yeah, so your kratom is right there. I just want to mention, I thought that was super cool. It was a great experience. It was a great, oh, absolutely. I love, letting the world know about, what works for me. So anyway, we still got a lot more. Oh, you know what? There were some comments I needed to address. We were in such a conversation here. Kathleen was saying, this is a great comment. If you're not a resident of Ohio, does it still help to leave a message for the Ohio Pharmacy Board?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. I think one of the biggest misconceptions in kratom advocacy that if it's not in your city, your state, whatever the location is, that you can't participate, and that's not true. Now, it makes a huge difference if you live wherever this is. So for this particular thing, Ohio, if you live in the state of Ohio, they're going to listen to you more than anybody else. So you all need to 100% be making the phone calls, even try to meet with people, do everything you can. But the rest of us, yes, we can call, we can email, we can do all the things. If they have Zoom meetings, sometimes they'll say, if you're not a resident, it's usually the towns and the cities. It's usually those where they'll say, if you don't live here, then you can't come up and speak. But they almost always let people speak no matter where they are. So yeah, be sure to take part in that. If at minimum, just email them. And I have the information on my Twitter. GKC put out a great tweet about it the other day, and I shared it. I still got a few more news stories for us to watch, or actually one more news story.
Sure.
There were so many of these this week. Wait, let's see. Yeah, just one more news story. So, actually, there's a couple more. Wait, I'm sorry. I kind of lost my place here. Okay, two more news. So, all I saw in the Kratom YouTube feed, I'm always monitoring the word Kratom on YouTube. I actually do it every day. So interesting stuff there's a lot of just bogus stuff. And then you get a lot of people that they see people going viral talking about their addiction to whatever, Kratom extracts, 7-OH, whatever. And so they want to capitalize on that. So many people like to just make these like little videos holding the camera up and just talking about, but good for them. Like, hey, you want to share your story? That's what we're all about.
Right.
But there were so many completely different news stories, different news media groups doing a story. And I don't know how big this place is, but is Berkeley County, South Carolina? Does anybody know is that big? Is that small?
I have no clue.
I don't know, but it seems like every news station in that area did a story about Kratom. So I just picked one that we're going to watch, but I was just like, why are there so many? What's Berkeley County and why are there so many of these? So we're going to watch this one. So at least we're up to date of what's going on. And the title of this video, state leaders and experts call for tighter Kratom regulations at Berkeley County Town Hall.
County state leaders and addiction counselors hosted a town hall to discuss Kratom, a plant-based substance raising safety concerns. Jesse Klinger attended tonight's meeting and heard experts outline the risks and what the public should know. Jesse?
Bill, Kratom began gaining popularity in the 2010s. It's a Southeast Asian plant sometimes used to help with opioid addiction or chronic pain. But new derivatives of the substance are proving addictive and even led to overdoses.
Sorry. Yeah, if you're wondering if it's that bad, it's that bad.
State lawmakers, addiction advocates, and the Berkeley County Coroner's Office are all voicing concern about Kratom.
We have investigated several deaths here in Berkeley County that's related to Kratom. And again, we are just trying to get ahead of this and making our community members aware of what Kratom is, and also making sure our legislative knows about it as well.
In 2025, the Berkeley County Coroner's Office says 2 people died from a Kratom overdose, adding that it often shows up in toxicology reports for other overdose-related deaths.
A lot of times when people hear legal, they assume safe, and it's not.
One business owner who sells Kratom says in small doses, it can be a safe alternative to alcohol and marijuana.
It's definitely gained in popularity over the years as people have kind of transitioned away from other things like alcohol.
Officials with Wake Up Carolina and the Ernest E. Kennedy Center say they're seeing an increase in people with addiction to Kratom. Kratom is banned in at least 6 states and is not approved or regulated by the FDA. As of July 2025, state law prohibits Kratom products from containing synthetic alkaloids and requires clear labeling. A specific concern is a new derivative called 7-hydroxy, a highly concentrated substance with more addictive side effects.
It's something that's been produced out of a lab rather than something that's grown.
It was like the first time I took Oxycontin. I mean, it is so strong and so powerful. I ended up getting addicted to it like right off the bat.
State Senator Brian Adams and State Representative Mark Smith are highlighting a push for more legislation to restrict the substance and its derivatives.
I mean, for the industry, we definitely need sensible regulation. There's no reason to wipe it out, but we do need to kick out the bad products and the bad actors.
Organizers at tonight's town hall hope to spark community discussions about the potential dangers of kratom and its derivative 7-hydroxy. One bill under consideration in the current state legislative session would reclassify kratom as a Schedule I controlled substance, effectively banning it statewide. The legislative.
So they want to schedule it.
Yeah.
That's the direction they want to go. If you're in South Carolina, and you know, Mel made a great point here. She said advocates in each state and city need to start doing their own town halls when this starts happening. Absolutely. Like a year ago, you know, here in Texas, we were under attack, and Mel's here in Texas. And, you know, I was making TikTok videos about it, and, you know, we're all freaking out because, like, wait a minute, we're in a KCPA state, Kratom Consumer Protection Act. I thought we're safe. We have regulations. And so we come to find out they're not enforcing it here. And this senator decided to bring a bill to just ban it all. And we were just horrified. Watching that hearing was horrifying. He said, as he's reading the bill, that he knows powder is safe and they have no problem with it, but they just want to ban it all because they don't want to deal with enforcing. It's like they already have that in place, a regulation. If you just enforce what you already put in place, you're wasting everybody's time and money on bringing a bill that they wasted hearings on and all this stuff. It didn't go anywhere, but it got us fired up in Texas. And I was like, DM me your email address, whoever's in Texas did. I'll just start an email list. So as I find out about things in our state, I'll email the group. And so for those of you where you're hearing about things and you're worried, if you're connecting with other people in your city, your state, wherever it is that's under attack, you know, start an email. Like, it's not hard. I just thought, well, let me just collect email addresses. And it wasn't fancy. I didn't go set up some email newsletter. All I did is every time I heard something new, and since I pay close attention to the advocacy groups, I know a lot of people on the industry side, I'm hearing stuff, you know, and I want to just hurry up and turn around and share it with those who care and want to know about it. So I'm just literally just sending out an email and just BCCing everybody. Like, it's so simple. To me, from me, that's all you do in your email. To you, from you, BCC and copy and paste. Don't do it as in the to, and don't do it in the CC. Do it as a BCC. So not everybody sees everybody's email addresses. You know, there's a thing called privacy. You really should not be doing that. And share whatever you find out. And it helped a lot of people stay informed and got them motivated to take action. And it's not hard to do. And it did not take me much time to do. It was really no big. I just opened up notes on my computer. I have it on my computer and on my phone. I just kept a running note. Every time somebody sent me an email, I just added it to the notes. I just had this one long list, and I would just copy and paste the whole list and email them and I still have the list. So when things start back up in Texas, they only do it every 2 years here. So we have time, but we can still take action and be planning ahead.
That's a really good idea. And, you know, definitely, I hope this wakes us up throughout the community that we cannot become, you know, complacent just because we do have KCPA to protect us. It should protect us. Like, it should keep things like that from happening, but we still need, you know, as they say, boots on the ground. And I was just thinking with that comment you just posted, thank you. It's been so long since we've had to do this. It's been since 2016 since we've had to, you know, get up and go to these meetings and do these meetings. And actually, if I really think about it, this is the first time that we've had something like this. Like, we didn't have a bunch of town halls and, you know, council meetings and legislator meetings back then. Like, it was just one big thing that we were fighting. You know, and occasionally there would be local ban hearings or whatever here and there, but this is the first time in our community's history that we're having to deal with, you know, boom, 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 one thing after another. And like, I'm just realizing like how difficult it is for us to one, you know, that realize that that's happening, and to like get us together so that we can have some kind of action, because we definitely need to be available for these town halls and like leave comments and send our emails and everything. And it's so much harder this time around to get people up and going than it is in 2016, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of people got burned out back then because everybody was doing so much. But also, what's interesting, we're in such a different time now. Back, in those early days when all, you, Christopher, and all of y'all were in that, it was really just powder, and powder was not a problem. It was when extracts got really big, and that's when you really started seeing all these bans. And when we started the Kratom Gals a little over 2 years ago, it seemed like that was when we just saw
all
it.
extracts.
It was all extracts, and just like we do today, it was like all these news stories, not at this level, but it was getting there. But it was just extracts. And the 7.0, even though that came out about 2 years ago, those news stories started about a year ago. And it wasn't much at first, but it's more and more and more. And now it's dominated the whole thing. But we're just in an unprecedented.
Because
Yeah.
there were extracts around when I started.
There were?
2014.
Were they not
Yeah,
popular or common? Were they expensive? Like
they were expensive, yes, I would say, but they were semi-common. Like, they weren't like, you couldn't find them, or there was just this one or two vendors. It was a common thing to find extracts, and they did have OPMS, I believe, at like gas stations and stuff. But like regular everyday vendors, ones that are still here, are and actually the ones that I purchased my extract from back in the day are still around, still carry the same products. So they've been around for a long time. I don't know what happened a couple years ago for the extract thing to explode again, for people to suddenly be like, that's a bad thing, that's wrong. But I
Well,
don't
we
know.
got these news stories of people spending thousands of dollars in a month, and then they
Right.
were pushing out these stories. And I mean, how could you even
Yes, thank
consume
you.
that much? So, I
that's
think there's
crazy.
always somebody back there giving other things a bad name in a way, because it's not the majority that's doing that. Could there be
That's
somebody out
true.
there spending that? Well, obviously, either that or it's just a story, but that's a lot. So you're actually consuming that into your body. Like, how? I
Yeah.
don't
And
understand,
now that I
but
think about it, I want to say that the liquid tincture shots became very popular that year. Like, that specific year, that was the year that like everybody started, like, those became more popular. But like powdered extracts and like different versions and different, for lack of a better term, strengths of extracts have been around for such a long time. It's just surprising to me that it became an issue like suddenly. But I think you're right. I think that year, like, a lot of different products like the tincture shots came about, and those became more popular in gas stations and became a problem for better or worse for a lot of people.
But I don't think they were in gas stations for quite a while. It seemed like that started several years back, where it just became more and more common. And the gas station, that seems to be when things change, because you're making it so easily accessible, and it's not in an environment like a smoke shop where you're carted at the door.
Right.
And kids can't be in there. It's a completely different environment. And you can totally see why parents get upset, and just, lawmakers get upset with, I mean, I don't like that any of this stuff is in a gas station. I don't think anything should be in it. I don't even think the powder should be. None of this should be in a gas station.
I agree. I agree.
To me, that's greed on both sides.
Mhm.
The owners
Yeah.
of those shops and the manufacturers of the kratom or distributors.
And
But
even the business owner that's stocking it as product. I mean, don't put those. Any place I've gone, it's been at least behind the counter. If I've saw anything like that, it's behind the counter. But I mean, I've never seen anything out, even an extract in a 7-Eleven or a corner store or anything like that near the candy bars. I've never seen that. I'm not saying it doesn't. I always want to be sure to say that it could be possible, but I have never seen it. And then when it comes to even the 7-0, they've always had, and in reference to the story we just watched, they show a picture of, I don't know, the perks, 2-pack of perks. Now, I didn't know anything about the 7 when it first came out years ago. It's been about a year and a half, a little more than a year and a half, but they always had directions on them. And even the 20 plus milligram ones, they said do not exceed more than the tablet in a 24-hour period. I'm sorry, they were quarter a dose, so 4 doses in that. And it said not to exceed more, 1/2 in a 12-hour period, 24 hours. The low 12 milligram ones still say you can take the half, but don't take more than the tablet in a 24-hour period. If people are going beyond that and taking more, taking 3, 4, 5 a day, like the person that's putting the product out has done at least their due diligence to say, do not take this beyond, don't overtake it. I don't know what it would have been about, 2 years ago if they weren't putting anything on that and people weren't informed. But I know, at least in the time that or at least the ones that I have come into contact with, there was directions on it for use. So
yeah.
And a lot of people don't read it, and that's their responsibility.
Even the little shots of energy shots. And my mom used to take them. I've taken them. The 5-hour energy. Those are actually 2 doses, 2 or 3 doses. And mostly we take the whole bottle. We don't stop to even read it. It's on there. I believe the regular brand 5-hour energy is 2 doses in that bottle.
Right.
Well, I was just shocked years ago to find out that I don't use the extracts like those liquid extracts have never worked on me. I just like my full spectrum powder. But I was interviewing somebody for the podcast a few years ago, and she was talking about how she had addiction issues with the extracts because those bottles are so little and nobody's looking to see how many servings.
That's right. Correct.
And she said it was so small that once you figured out it did have a number of this thing is tiny. How are you supposed to measure it out? And it's like, is this by design?
So maybe it should have came with an insert rather than just on the bottle, because most people, I mean, I wouldn't even be able to see a bottle, and I don't carry the readers around anywhere. And you just think that it's like a hit or quitter, that it's okay to take the bottle. You wouldn't be able to read it in the first place because those bottles are only an inch high.
Right.
Inch and a half high.
Yeah.
And so you wouldn't be able to read it. So maybe it should have had a insertable in it for more safety. Then you'd at least know, well, there's also something here that I'm supposed to read, and whether I read it or not, then it's on me. I mean, that would have been difficult. People just wouldn't have known.
I think it's just a mix of everything, like everything that we've brought up here today, like the fact that it's in gas stations, that the products have become more potent, that the doses have become higher, that they're in more products, and they're more available.
And all the names that made them sound like illicit or prescribed drugs, all the names that they rolled out. I'm still not okay with that. There's so much of it I'm still not okay with that, needs to be altered or changed, or, I mean, if it's even allowed to stay. I mean, I don't know. That would be if it was allowed, that particular item was allowed to stay. But, that was never okay. I never agreed with that. That's not, because it is enticing to certain people looking for certain things. And, you hear a name like that, and then, you get a free receptor light up going ding, 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 let me go get that. So
This is such a great discussion today. I love this.
Yeah, definitely.
This is great. I got one more news story before we start watching some other stuff. One more, and this one's a bit crazy. That's why I saved it for last. But if you haven't seen this, it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Growing questions tonight about the fate of a Pennsylvania County supervisor who's accused of breaking the law. Tim Dudley is facing a misdemeanor shoplifting charge from an incident captured on camera at a store in Alta Vista. ABC 13's Sarah Weitzman is pressing county leaders for answers tonight.
Tim Dudley represents the Stanton area on the Pennsylvania County Board of Supervisors. He's held that seat since 2019. So I want to know how this charge could impact his position as an elected official. Surveillance video from the Arco gas station in Alta Vista appears to show Dudley taking an item from the counter, walking into the store, and putting it in his pocket. An employee told me he took a packet labeled Chill Butta 7-hydroxymetrogene, or Kratom, which helps treat headaches, anxiety, and opioid use withdrawal symptoms. Police charged Dudley with shoplifting, a Class 1 misdemeanor, the next day. According to the county's code of ethics, board members must comply with the law. Violations can lead to sanctions ranging from public or private reprimand. I reached out to numerous county officials to find out what consequences Dudley could face if convicted. Board of Supervisors Chair Robert Tucker told me he had no comment. County Administrator Vincent Shorter directed me to speak with Matt Evans, the county attorney, but he did not respond to my emails or return my phone calls. The next Board of Supervisors meeting is on January 20th, and Tim Dudley will go before a Campbell County judge that following week, January 27th. But we're still working to find out if the board will take action before his next court date. And will a conviction force the board to remove Dudley, or is that decision up to the voters? I'll keep working to get you these answers. I'm Sarah Weitzman, ABC.
Wow. So he stole.
I don't know whether to laugh or what, because like what?
An official stealing 7-0.
An official.
Right.
I mean,
well, first of all, he's a city official. Something should happen to him. But
absolutely.
You know, at first I'm watching this, I'm like, what? Obviously, it's got to be he was stealing Kratom or 7-0. Like, but I'm thinking, I doubt it was Kratom. I'm sure
and
it was
then
7-0.
did they put him in there as a plant? You know, of course, my mind's going to wonder anything like to say. But why would you even if it was something that was, you know, staged? You're an official. Why would you do that to your reputation? So that probably isn't what happened, but it's still like, okay.
You know what's interesting?
That's weird.
You don't have people that steal Kratom leaf. If they're going to steal, it used to be the extracts. We showed some stories here a few years ago. Somebody breaking into a smoke shop and stealing extracts. But then what became more common, if there was any theft, it was 7-0H. And so I had a feeling they were going to show 7-0H with this. It's like shoplifting. What did he take?
Yeah.
Just very
interesting.
Surprising and official. Taking it to begin with, but to steal it, that's
so
what I mean.
So
like
blatantly. Right on the count, like there's a camera right there.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to laugh, because I mean it's not funny. I mean, I'm sorry for laughing. It's just that you're a public official.
Right.
You know, you can't tuck that in. You can't wait to go buy it. You can't suppress your urge. You got to steal it right in front of cameras you know are there, or we'd assume are there anyway. You know, it's just kind of, so I can't help but, you know, smirk a bit over it. It's kind of weird.
Right. It is weird. Not very smart at all.
No.
Especially for an official who's supposed to be looking out for us.
That's right. Exactly.
Exactly. So it'll be interesting to see if there's any accountability, which there absolutely should be for just stealing. But on top of it, stealing 7-0H. So you know what's going to happen now in this. This is a community in Virginia. 7-0H is going to become a topic of interest because they're going to.
What I mean.
They're going
so
to be. They're going to be. What is this? What is this, and why did you steal it? And you know that news reporter seems like a nice young gun that's going to get to the bottom of it. I mean, it'll be. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a follow up where she now is like, oh, I can imagine this young journalist. There's an even bigger story here. Have you heard of this 7-0H? Oh, we got to dig into this and do a story on it. It'll be interesting to see what comes from that for sure. But that guy needs to be held accountable. I mean, my God.
Definitely.
My gosh. Okay, this next video. Okay, we're done with the news stories. It takes us an hour and a half just to do the darn news stories because there's so many of them. There were more. I felt like we saw plenty. I haven't heard this talked about, and this surprises me because I'm about to show you a clip from an interview that came out a month ago where Kratom was brought up. And I don't know why I didn't see it until this week. And I don't know why nobody else has. I haven't seen anybody else talk about this. You're not going to believe that there was that Kratom was brought. I mean, this video is almost 2 hours long, and it's with this doctor. He looks familiar, Dr. Daniel Amen, Amen, and it's primarily talking about like destructive cannabis to young men, blah blah blah. Let me read the title: Big Pharma's Most Dangerous Lie and the Dark Truth About Weed. That's the title of this thing, but Kratom is in here. And you're not going to believe where this was. Tucker Carlson, who has 5 million subscribers on his YouTube channel. This came out on November 17th, has 600,000 views.
Wow.
And there's a short discussion about Kratom, and y'all are not going to believe the stuff they both say about this. So, yeah, get ready.
What's Kratom? So it's another one of what I call a weapon of mass destruction. It is an opiate agonist, which means it increases the availability of opiates in the brain. It's clearly addictive, and it's legal. And it's often it's often sold in gas stations and places like that.
Yeah, the Indians run the gas station 50 yards from here. It's only Kratom for sale behind the counter. Is it? I've never tried it. How serious is it?
Well, I've had a number of patients. In fact, I just did this great segment on KTLA in Los Angeles. So I scanned Casey Montoya, who's the weather person.
Yep.
She loves me and wanted to experience my work. And so we scanned her and scanned her producer. And then we did them a year later. And they both did what I asked them to do. Casey's brain was better, like really better, but the producer's brain was worse. And it sort of broke my heart because, I get attached to how brains do. And I'm like, why is it worse? He goes, I don't know. I've done this and I've done that. And then he texted me. He said, the only thing I did differently between the first scan and the second is I picked up Kratom. And I'm like, why did you pick up Kratom?
Pick up means started using
Kratom. And he was anxious, something. And he said a friend told him it would be helpful. I'm like, you need to stop because it's clearly damaging your brain.
And it doesn't seem to be regulated in most places.
It's not. No, it's in this sort of gray period where clearly it's legal. They've tried to ban it a couple of times, but the Kratom lobby gets to the regulators. And I'm hoping that at some point this administration looks at it.
Okay, that is wild to me that this showed up on such a high profile, and I don't know why all of a sudden it showed up for me in the feed. Has anybody known about this? Because I haven't heard anybody say a word about this. And I mean, that's a lot of views. Now, I don't know how many people get this far in because this is at, if anybody wants to know the timestamp, it's 1 hour and 2 minutes and 14 seconds in. And it's only just for like 2.5 minutes. But I have something to dispute what he just said. At the end, he said, well, we hope this current administration will do something about this. Well, they have addressed it.
Right.
Let me play for those that either don't know or to educate the people who were just making those statements. Let's watch something to refresh ourselves on the current administration's stance on everything.
Mm-hmm. And start tagging
the American
him in
people
it.
to act decisively, and that's what we're doing today, initiating a process to schedule 7-OH as an illicit substance.
We're not targeting the Kratom leaf or ground up.
See, they're not targeting. Do they? Do they not? They do this, talk about Kratom, saying negative things, saying they hope the administration does something about it. Well, they are doing something about it. They want to schedule 7-OH, even though I don't believe in prohibition, and they're not targeting Kratom leaf. Am I missing something? I'm just shocked. So
They are.
Yeah,
They are missing it.
Yeah.
This video needs to get to them. It's only 1:45. I'm going to play the whole thing for those who haven't seen it yet.
Kratom, we are targeting the concentrated synthetic byproduct that is an opioid. Well, first of all, Kratom is different from 7-OH.
Kratom is not our focus. The Kratom leaf has been around for centuries.
Some physicians have some health concerns with Kratom. Some people describe those as minimal health concerns. Some say there's health benefits. We're not talking about Kratom. We're not targeting Kratom.
What is it that you're cracking down on? You just announced this yesterday. You're going after a synthetic version of it?
We don't want to get caught flat-footed again. There's a product that's a synthetic product in the vape stores that are popping up on every corner in America. And we want to educate people about that product. It's called 7-OH. It has many other names. When you go really broad and say, look, everything is your brain on drugs, you're not really appropriately risk stratifying to parents who should know. It's important to distinguish the lexicon here. So the Kratom plant, which has been used in teas and other substances for centuries, may have some minimal health concerns, but it's not our focus. It's a synthetic concentrated byproduct that is stronger than oxycodone. That's where we're going to focus, and that's where I think we can distinguish where the real public health harm is. This 7-OH product can be deadly.
So there you go, y'all. I mean, my gosh, somebody needs to get that to that doctor and Tucker Carlson so they actually have the facts. And while we're talking about facts,
I think Tucker, doesn't he support, I mean, this is a different subject, but I think he's the one that's been promoting nicotine and boasting nicotine as, and then, some studies have come out claiming that nicotine can relieve fibromyalgia and different things like that. That's very possible, because it's separate from tobacco. It's not necessarily tobacco, and we know that the tobacco smoke or the additives in cigarettes are cancer causing. But it's just weird that
it's misleading information about Kratom is what they both gave out misleading information. And
then in one huge instance, Kratom is safe. We're not going after Kratom. Kratom's used in the tea for centuries, all this and that, and then boom, go after Kratom anyway.
Yeah.
So, and I just am not going to believe that it's all because of extracts and even 7-0. It's something else is going on, or it would still be the same. We're not touching tea. Let's go after these. They're still going after the tea. So I don't believe that these other items came onto the market, and it's because of those they're going after Kratom. They just don't tell the truth. They just change everything. They just keep
to fit their narrative, whatever they want the outcome to be, they switch it to that. Yeah.
Well, let's share some more science with them so they can be informed if they ever happen to watch this. Let's talk about real Kratom science, not the headlines, not clickbait, actual human research. This just came out on PubMed, and it matters. It was a controlled clinical study on Kratom done in healthy adults, looking at safety, tolerability, and how people responded to it. This is the kind of research advocates have been asking for. This wasn't a survey. It wasn't animal data. It was a double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled study. 116 healthy volunteers took part. Single doses and repeated daily doses of dried Kratom leaf powder was used. Nearly 7 weeks of monitoring. That design matters because it strips out speculation. You can compare Kratom directly against placebo and watch what happens in the body. Here's what they found, and I want to be very clear and very precise. There were no deaths, no serious adverse events. Side effects did happen, especially at higher doses, but they were mostly mild. Things like nausea, dizziness, headaches, and feeling warm. Overall, the researchers concluded that the Kratom used in the study was safe and generally well tolerated in healthy adults. And this is important. In this controlled setting, researchers did not see evidence of significant abuse, potential, or withdrawal. But let's not overstate this. This study does not say kratom is risk-free. It does not tell us what happens over many years and does not represent every product on the market. But what it does show is that when kratom is studied seriously in humans, the results are far more nuanced than the clickbait headlines and negative media narratives we usually see. This is exactly why science has to lead policy, not anecdotes cherry-picked to push bans, not assumptions, actual data. If this kind of science breakdown matters to you, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to help support this work, donations help make it possible for me to keep digging into the research and sharing it clearly without hype or fear. This is part of my science series. We're going to keep breaking down the research one study at a time. And here's another video.
They're putting in synthetic drugs, which some...
That wasn't it. I thought I was going to go right into my other video I wanted to show y'all. Did I mess up the order of this? Because while we're doing the science, let me play my other fact-based science info. Y'all feel free to send it over to Dr. Amen and Dr. Carlson so they can be informed. You really think kratom causes seizures? Show me the proof. Because when scientists actually went looking for it, they found almost nothing. Let's break down what the real science says. A brand new review just looked at every study ever published on kratom and seizures, plus 2 major FDA databases. Out of 42 studies, only 11 even met the criteria to be included. And across all of them, just 20 people were reported to have seizures after using kratom. But here's the thing, only 1 of those 20 people even had lab results confirming kratom in their system. Everyone else, they were self-reported. No verified blood or urine tests, and most of those cases involved other substances like opioids, antidepressants, or stimulants, or pre-existing medical conditions that could have easily have caused seizures on their own. Even the FDA's own data doesn't back up the warnings. In one database, there were 22 seizure cases. In another, just 18. That's not a cause. That's barely a blip in the data. And here's something important. All of those were labeled as suspected, which means someone thought kratom might have been involved, but there was no proof. The study's conclusion is clear. There's no proven link between kratom and seizures. Not until we have controlled clinical data showing dose, duration, and lab confirmation. So when someone says kratom causes seizures, ask them one thing. Where's the evidence? Because the science says otherwise. If you care about facts over fears, share this video. Let's get the truth out there. The full study link is in the description. I love that in making these videos. I want to do more of those videos. We need more like that, like the science-backed
Very good
facts of kratom.
Yeah,
that can get shared around because, like, there are some studies, there are things. Get informed. You know, people need to get informed. So, yeah, I'll have links to all of this over in the YouTube description later today. I still got more videos. Are y'all up for it?
Yeah, we can do another one.
Yep, I'm in.
Okay. I found a really interesting one that I'm going to play for you. It's not long at all, but there's this guy. Let me see if I can get it right to the right spot. His YouTube account's called Nootropics Expert. And what he did, I remember this video he's spotlighting. So he's breaking down and basically sharing his thoughts on all these different items. And I remember when this video came out that he's talking about, because this guy was talking about all these different nootropics, and I remember kratom was in there. I know we watched this segment, so some of y'all might recognize the guy. So what he's doing, he's playing clips of the guy's video and then talking about it. So, but I do remember we had watched this guy's video way back when. So we're going to watch this and you're going to share what you think.
Plant called kratom. I don't know. Here in the US, I feel like I see it everywhere in every strip mall. It's like kratom signs. It's made from this evergreen tree leaf, and it's sold in the form of powder and pills and extracts. It sounds totally natural and fresh, and I can see why it's doing so well on the market. But once again, Kratom has been linked to hundreds of cases of salmonella poisoning. And there's the fact that it's highly addictive, especially to those who have had opioid addictions, which is, if you haven't heard, a giant problem in our country. It has been deemed to be the cause of death for 91 people who had overdoses in 2016 and 2017, though only 7 of those people were found to only have Kratom in their body. There were other drugs in the overdose as well. But
I used Kratom after 3 major back surgeries, and I could not get pain meds. And the claims about death from Kratom, not a single study or investigation would point to Kratom causing death. There were other drugs in the person's system in every single case. It was not Kratom that caused the problem, but Kratom, of course, gets the blame and gets all the headlines.
But what we're saying here is that this can be dangerous stuff. It's not just food like the law wants it to be. The FDA urged the DEA to classify this as a Schedule I drug, which is the classification for heroin. But it's a dietary supplement, just like down the road at the local convenience store. Speaking of drugs,
I can name dozens of nootropic supplements that can cause severe health problems if you don't do your homework first and find out if a supplement you are considering is contraindicated with a med that you may be using. I mean, just do this and you'll stay out of trouble.
some supplements are kind of just like drugs in disguise.
Yes, supplements can be powerful. And no, they're not drugs in disguise. But did you know that a lot of pharmaceuticals are based on natural compounds? Yeah, drugs are based on natural things. That is one of the reasons why drug companies did not want the DSHEA to pass into law, because they saw huge dollar signs and did not want to share it.
What we're really seeing is that in a lot of those cases, they're putting in synthetic drugs, which sometimes are prescription drugs and sometimes are products that are not approved by the FDA.
One study found that over the last decade, more than 750 supplements were illegally spiked with drugs. Only half of them were ever recalled.
And that is why you need to do your own research before buying a supplement.
I like this guy. It was just a short part about Kratom, but I like this guy. I don't know who he is, but I like what he had to say.
It. Yes.
That was like a really good find. I'm really impressed with him. So he goes by nootropics expert. But that video, I remember that video. That video came out a while back. I know we watched it on the Kratom Gals. I mean, it had to have been like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And the guy just was talking about all these different things, but he did a whole segment on Kratom. That was just a small part of it. But you know, when these people talk about the salmonella, I mean, Becca, that was back in the early days. Like that was like this isolated incident.
Back in 2017, I think.
Yeah, like it was from way back, and it was not like that. They love to bring up stuff that is so irrelevant today. I mean, that was before a lot of regulations were in place. I mean, wasn't it like it was a different time back then?
Yeah, and it was like one specific like batch from a specific, supplier. It went to like 2 vendors, and like that was that, and they all took care of it. Like there was an actual recall. Like, yeah, it does.
But then they like to keep rolling it out as if it's continuing to exist, and and it's happening, and then it's happening, and it's happening, instead of letting everybody know it was an isolated situation and it was taken care of. Instead, they got to use that as part of their agenda,
and it brings unnecessary concern.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I got Becca, do you need to go? Like all I have left is like a short little interesting video, like 2 little short things that'll get like perfect timing. It'll get us to the top of the hour. So, hey, Lori, good to see you. We haven't seen you in a while. Still having issues. Sorry to hear you're still having issues. If you're available tomorrow, come over to school. We still do our Sunday chat. I know you came to it a long time ago when we first started it, but we still do that Thursdays and Sundays at 3:00 Eastern. So if you're around, come hang out with us. This next video. there's some guy running for office in West Virginia that put up a whole bunch of these short little videos. I guess he wants to, I mean, actually, this is kind of a smart little thing if you're running for office somewhere, put a bunch of videos out or one long video of your stance on things so the public knows. But he has one about Kratom that's a little over a minute long, and it's interesting. So let's watch this.
Hi, I'm David McCormick, and I want to talk with you about Kratom, an unregulated substance currently being sold in West Virginia with no meaningful safety oversight. Despite being marketed as natural, medical experts have documented serious risks with Kratom use, including nausea, vomiting, liver injury, rapid heart rate, confusion, dependence, and withdrawal symptoms. In more severe cases, Kratom has been linked to seizures and other dangerous health events. Unlike regulated medications or tobacco products, Kratom has no standards for purity, dosage, or labeling. Consumers often have no idea what they're taking or how strong it is. This is a highly addictive substance. That's why I believe Kratom should be removed from the market in West Virginia. When a product poses real health risks and offers no verified medical benefit, government has a responsibility to act. This proposal puts public safety first and protects families from an unregulated and potentially dangerous substance. I'm David McCormick, and I will always put health and accountability first.
Okay, David McCormick. He needs to go
I would
watch.
just like all of them to have a cup of tea, 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon, or a half a teaspoon even to start, and have a cup of tea. Have it at nighttime where you're at home. You don't have to work in case there is something happen to you. Nothing's going to happen. But if it did make you feel, something that first time, your cup of coffee equal to your cup of coffee, to everybody do that, and then they would understand.
Right,
They
exactly.
wouldn't even need to they wouldn't even have to have the teaspoon or the 2 for their serving size or their doses, some people like to call it, just a half. And then they would know that they feel better. Their whole well-being would feel better,
Well, this guy's sensationalizing it as if it's an emergency
He
in his
wants
area.
the votes. He needs the votes. Mm-hmm.
But instead of reading a script, the dude should just talk about it from the heart. What has this personally affected you or a loved one? Like he's reading a script, he's doing that in your face. Let me yell at you. I don't know why people like to do the yelling thing. It makes no sense. I don't know why people think that's effective because it's not. But that was an interesting video that popped up in my feed. I thought I would share with y'all. The last one, it is interesting.
Not only that, but they have something called the Select Plant-Based Derivatives Regulation Act for Kratom specifically, I think, which went into effect in 2023. And
in that state,
they are already strictly regulated.
In that state, in West Virginia.
In West Virginia.
So he's not even up to date on the current regulations, and he wants to just ban something instead of regulation because he even says that there's no regulations. Well, it's like, why is it these people love to say there's no regulations? Y'all have the power to create regulation, so it's safe.
Yeah, it looks a lot like the KCPA, except they went ahead and did it themselves or something.
Really? In West Virginia? So he's talking about something that's already in place?
Yeah, he's misguided, I think.
Wow, dude, go read the news, catch yourself up instead of reading a teleprompter of what you think is fact. Wow, that's really bad. If you live in his district, pay attention.
Somebody let him know.
Yeah. The last thing I'm going to show is this another one of those. Let's talk about supplements and how bad they are for you. She goes by Dr. Boz, Annette Bosworth, MD. So she has a popular YouTube channel with over 1 million subscribers, but she did this whole long video with all these different supplements. And it says, Dr. Boz ranks supplements in parentheses, don't waste your money. So apparently this lady does not like supplements, but she does briefly mention Kratom at the very end. So I'm going to play that part for y'all so you can hear what she thinks of it. And she's basically ranking them. At the end, she has her little thing up and it shows you how she's ranking different types and where she's going to put Kratom in there.
And then there's Kratom. So I think I ran into this over a decade ago, and it was before I started seeing it in like every 7-Eleven across the country. There are actually laws against Kratom in some states because it's like an opiate analog. It's very addictive. Yes, people feel a buzz from it. So they put it in these, they call them energy drinks, but it's super addictive, and it's in the opium family where
it's in the opium. Where is this doctor?
Wow. Family, lady.
Where is this
family.
doctor with 1 million subscribers?
She should be embarrassed.
Getting
Yeah.
that information. That is so y'all, if y'all want to comment in this video of hers, like I said, a little later this afternoon here on my YouTube channel at Kratom Real Talk. I know some of y'all are watching, actually a bunch of y'all are watching on X right now. Thank you. Come over to YouTube, Kratom Real Talk, and in the comments for today's live stream, I'll have the links in there in a little bit, and go over it. But everybody be respectful. Like, don't ever be mean or rude. I mean, nobody listens to us when we're that way. Just be respectful. But this lady's misinformed. This doctor, this MD, with her 1 million subscribers, 1 million plus subscribers, she is very misinformed. She still has a little more to say, but I can't believe what's coming out of her, and she thinks is fact.
The withdrawal is just like what happens from like opium, from hydrocodone. So absolutely 5, I would not do that. Supplements can be great, but the real work needs to be done if you want to undo or prevent metabolic problems.
All right, lady. So I think we've seen enough videos for one day. Oh my gosh, we watched a lot.
And it's definitely not the opiate family. It's a rubiaceae.
Where is she? Where are these people y'all? This is what's firing me up to make more of those videos I played for y'all that I've created, talking about facts and the science and the research. I'm really up for doing that, but I definitely need support of everybody. 2 ways to do that. Those that want to do financial support's awesome. You can definitely, I'll bring up the website if anybody wants to help donate towards our efforts over on my website at kratomstoriespodcast.com. I do have a support page, but if anything, if you can just go subscribe to our YouTube channel that we're on right now. When these videos come out, hit the like button, share it with others, and comment on it. It really goes a long way. It really helps some more people see it. When you go to our website, on the homepage here, whether you're on your phone or on a desktop computer, there in the navigation, you'll see donate, and that takes you to our support page here. And I have a variety of ways for people that want to help with all this advocacy work we're doing. And you can do it through Buy Me a Coffee, PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. And for those in our school community at Kratom Real Talk, I even set up is like a Patreon. I have a monthly subscription set up over there, and I have a direct link to it. So, if anybody's compelled, definitely appreciate the help. It's a lot of time and a lot of work to do all this, and I definitely need community support in that to do that. But just subscribing, liking, commenting, that helps tremendously. But really sharing these fact-based videos, I've just been doing them as shorts. And if y'all have any, like some good PubMed reports or studies or things or articles you come across that you like, this would be good to have a video talking about, let me know. Because, I want to make a whole library of these. Because this is the kind of content we can give to these people when they share this misinformation. Like the whole Tucker Carlson, Dr. Amen. I want to send them that 2-minute FDA mashup video of like, well, did you not hear what the FDA has very publicly said?
Right, because we can't have these influential voices be saying things like that and be wrong, and like that's
exactly not okay. They're influencing people because of their large audience, and they're giving out highly inaccurate information. So it's worrisome. Very worrisome. So that's our show for today. At 1 minute and 59 minutes. Got ourselves to the 2-hour mark.
It was a great show. Thank you, everybody,
Great
for
show. Thank
watching
you,
with us
everyone.
and chatting.
Mhm.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all so much. It's so much fun coming here as a group and just collectively spending a few hours together and talking about our beloved plant and how much it helps all of us individually. And we just appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch this. And for those watching, look, if you're watching the replay, we have our regulars that are here live, and y'all are here waiting for me to hit the start button. I'm sorry I'm sometimes late. Sometimes it's like we're trying to get it going. We were having some audio issues at the beginning too. We were trying to resolve, but thank y'all for like so many of y'all that come here waiting for us to start at 2:00 Eastern, stay the entire time, and are still here right now as we wrap up exactly 1 hour, 55 minutes and 58 seconds in. And then come back week after week. But I know there's plenty of people, y'all watch the replay as well. The numbers show me that a lot of y'all come back or come later and watch the replay. And if you watch this whole thing, those of you that are right now, you hit the replay, you're watching this, put something in the comments to let us know that you put in there that you are at the end. Like, I want to know who watched it, because I know a lot of y'all, tell me y'all go and watch the replay. But I'm just curious, do people watch it to the end? I do. Actually, there's a lot of stuff I go watch replays on, and I'll watch or listen while I'm doing stuff all the way to the end. So I'd be curious to know. It'd be really cool to know. We'll give you a shout out next week. So put in the comments and let us know, and we're going to shout you out next time. And the only people that know are those that are here that will know that,
Right.
watch to the end to know to do that shout out. But it's such a great time, y'all. Thank y'all so much. We'll be back next Saturday again.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
Yep. And tomorrow at school, we'll have the support group at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, over at Kratom Real Talk. You'll come join us over there, kratomrealtalk.com. That's our awesome school community. It's really grown a lot because people are fed up with Facebook. Facebook groups suck. We're so limited in our conversations on Facebook. We're limited in so many of these platforms. So I took it upon myself a few years ago. The first time I lost my TikTok, December of 2023, I'm like, I'm still gonna do social media. I teach social media, but I want to have a place also where we're not going to have censorship. It needs to not be on a regular social media platform. So I set us up on the school platform, and it's kratomrealtalk.com. I love all of our it's really blown up too. It is so active over there, and so many different people asking questions. Venus is always putting up all the latest advocacy stuff. You got Sarah putting up all these videos, educating everybody.
Excellent.
It is
Becca,
so good.
Sarah. Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of great stuff. And we moved our newsletter. We're over on Substack now. So if you ever want to join our newsletter so you get our weekly updates, I always put out a weekly, I've been doing it for the last couple of years, of like the latest with this live stream, the podcast, Kratom Stories podcast, some advocacy news, just the latest Kratom news. Go sign up. You can sign up over at kratomstoriespodcast.com, but you can also just go to our Substack at Kratom Real Talk, and you can sign up there. But yeah, I just switched that over. I really have y'all noticed the newsletter that like the last few weeks? It's still the same kind of newsletter. It looks a little different because it's on a different platform, but I really like Substack, and you can easily share it. See, that's what's a little harder with these other, like MailChimp and some of these others are not as easy for you to share.
I'm
But
not sure if I
Substack,
signed up yet.
y'all can easily
I like
share
it.
Gotta look.
and you can comment on it. Like it's almost like the old school blogs. Like you can read it and then you can comment on it. You can share it. So
Yeah, I like it so far. I'm getting used to it, but it seems really easy to use and get used to. So
yeah, I like it too.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad we have such a great group of people here live with us. And yeah, Lori, whenever you're able to join us, like anybody that can join us, great. If not, no worries. We're always here, and y'all can always catch the replay because it's, unless we lose this YouTube channel. As I said earlier, for those that just got here, I did get in trouble with YouTube this week over nothing. They didn't like something I put up that was just completely informational. It was super short. I think it was ridiculous. It was 16 seconds long. I mean, it's ridiculous. And oh yeah, thanks for a reminder, Mel. AKA is doing their webinar tonight. They're going to do an advocacy webinar tonight, so don't miss it. Be sure you need to be on the email list, protectkratom.org, to get on their list. So yeah, I'll be tuning into that. And you don't have to technically download Substack to get the newsletter. If you want to participate and be able to reply and meet other people and follow other people, yes, you'll need to set it up, and you can do it on your computer, or you can get the Substack app. It's real easy to use.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get the Substack. I thought I might have. But apparently I haven't.
It's kind of like a 2-in-1. And you can use it for either or both or nothing and just view stuff. But I'm using the newsletter part, so y'all can see the weekly newsletter, and you can just sign up for the newsletter, get the weekly email, or just go to my Substack and see it there. The other aspect of Substack is also like a social media feed, but old school, where there's not an algorithm that's going to, there is an algorithm, but it's like, if you're following my new Substack, my Kratom Real Talk Substack, every time I do like what's called a note, which is kind of like a tweet, you'll see it. Like, it's like, you're not going to miss it. Like, they don't do the algorithm. They'll do the algorithm to show you stuff you might be interested in, or based on what you like to view and like and comment on. But it's not like how it is now, where you go and follow somebody and you're lucky if you ever see any of their posts. It's not like that. So it's really cool. I like it a lot. So I've been using it, and I know that Venus started using it. So, and we don't seem to have censorship issues there. They don't seem to mind. Kratom. I haven't gotten in trouble. So,
and that's what we're looking for. No censorship.
Yeah. I mean, we're losing more and more places to talk about Kratom. We know X is okay, Blue Sky, Substack, School 100%. But most of the others are so restrictive. I haven't gotten into trouble at TikTok in a while. They've been a little better, but YouTube, I don't know what the heck's going on with them. So we need them to all stop harassing us. We're just trying to educate.
Yep.
Yes.
I think today we'll close out with the song "Living the Kratom Life."
Oh, we haven't heard that for a while.
Yeah, I know we've done the other one because it gets us all fired up. We're already fired up, but I feel like today, I think we're just going to close out with a more chill song. So we'll be back next Saturday, and y'all have a great rest of your weekend, and see y'all soon. Thank you, gals.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Woke up today feeling light. Grab my blend, ready for flight. Dreaming that it's my start. Red barley to calm my heart. From dawn to dusk, I'm feeling free. With every leaf from the kratom tree, I take my dose, I feel alive. Yeah, I'm living the kratom life. Oh, I'm living the kratom life. So wild, every day I'm feeling revived. Capsules packed with nature's flow. Herbal realm, you already know. White flame when I need the drive. It's the power that makes me thrive. Mix it up, I found my way. Living the kratom life every day. From dawn to dusk, I'm feeling free. With every leaf from the kratom tree, I take my dose, I feel alive. Yeah, I'm living the kratom life. Oh, I'm living the kratom life. So wild, every day I'm feeling revived. Capsules packed with nature's glow. Herbal realm, you already know. You already know. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I feel the strain. I know that Kratom eases the pain. So I take